Okay, so I picked up this Vantrue camera, Dashcam N4 Pro Nexus. Just received it overnight on Amazon Prime deals. I did get the bundle package that also came with the harness, the wire kit, so that you can hardwire it into your fuses. And this is the product that I ended up getting. I like this one for the features. I didn't necessarily want all the cameras. I guess I will use them now that I have them, but the whole purpose of this was to have the extra functions and features that it comes with, like the night vision, the motion sensing for parking. I park in a parking lot for work. I had read good reviews on this camera. Looks like it's nicely packaged. Some cloths, the directions. This is the cable that comes with. This cable here looks like it's for the rear camera, because there's no power connection on that. And then this is the mounting bracket adhesive, and this is the cigarette lighter adapter, which obviously I'm not going to use. And they do give you this tool. I have my own tools for that. And then the camera itself, obviously I took this out the wrong way. So nice looking camera. It is bigger than most units. I've never used one before, but from what I've seen, this is a little bit bigger, but it's not too heavy. It should stick fine. And then I bought the high endurance card. This was not part of the bundle, because the ones that come with the bundle are a little bit smaller, but this was the other thing I liked about this camera, is that it has a capacity of 512 before it starts looping. And I did get the high endurance card because they recommend this one for cars that are in the heat, and it'll have a lot of copy over to withstand that. And then part of the bundle was the wire kit with the fuse caps. So obviously all of these won't be used. You have to use the one specific for your vehicle. And there are two sets, because one set will be, you pick the one that you need of here for your continuous power for when the car is on. I'm sorry, for when you're in parking mode. And then the other one will be used for accessory mode. So when your car is turned on, the battery will power the camera for motion. And then part of the wire kit that came in the bundle. Okay, so here's your connection for the accessory. So when it's only when the car's running, here's continuous, and here's the ground. And it looks like there's plenty of cable. So I'm gonna put this thing back together and see what we can do. Okay, so before, when I had the box opening, I was in my kitchen. This is a little bit better view on my workbench. So I'll just go over the parts again. So this is the cable that comes with it to hook up the back camera. This looks like there's plenty there. This is the cable that comes with the set that's used for your cigarette lighter adapter. Our trucks don't even, the Ranger Raptor doesn't even have a cigarette lighter in there, so definitely won't be using that. Maybe just to test it. I do have a cigarette lighter to USB plug adapter I'm going to try. This looks like the, oh, this plugs in here, and then the mount will go on here. So this is to mount it to the windshield. Like this, okay. So this is a twist here, a turn. So So this is your cabin facing camera. And this is the adapter card, high endurance SD micro card 512. And this is the rear camera. And then these are the 8 wires. So basically it's 2 pairs. So you have those 2 because they figure whatever one you use is the one you're going to use 2 of. So it gives you enough for the 4 of them. Hopefully these will fit in the Raptor. I know the Raptor has a special fuse. And then this is the cable that will hook into here, then with your grounds. So this is the complete kit. On the driver's side of the passenger compartment, I actually had to do a little finagling to get this thing off, and it's not even really easy to find, but this is what it looks like here. For those of you who are just afraid or uncertain about breaking something, I am myself, so that's okay. So you see at the bottom, it's a hinge or plastic hinge, and then all of these plastic pieces here will lock in. So basically just grab, pull lightly, and work your way around here, and this will come down. So I have this diagram here. It shows the different fuses. This is not a complete diagram. This is just the one I did a screenshot of. It says down here that number 28 is not used. And basically what we have to do is we have to find one connection that's got continuous power and one connection that's with accessories on only, or near accessory mode. So right now I have my tester here. You can see I have it grounded to a wire or screw on the frame, and I just went and started testing some of these. So number 28, which is that one very far at the bottom, the 5 amp, when I test that with the car off, there's nothing, there's no power here. And when I start testing some of these here, I get nothing. Actually, no, I get that. So number 30, that's number 31. I don't know if you can see that. Number 31 is continuous power. So when I was checking, I saw this one here, number 28, has continuous power. When I went back and looked at my chart for 28, it says here that 28 is spare and not used. So 28 is where I think I'm going to tap in for the continuous, which will be for when I'm parked. And then I think I'll use the bottom one for accessory mode only. So I saw another user on the forums that said that you need one of the triple plugs. It's called a 3, I can't remember the exact name of it. It's 3 AMD fuse tap. So if you look really closely, you can see that those fuses have 3 prongs on them. So in order for me to tap into that, I'm gonna need a wire that I don't have right now. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to run these wires, have everything ready. I just won't be able to use it today until I get that other one, but I can put it in and test it to see if it's working. I'm gonna see if I can use one of these other ones, maybe one of the smaller ones. Let me try some of these here. Continuous, so these are all continuous. Let's see, number 30 is not continuous power. So let me see what number 30 is. "30" just says not used. So I'm gonna see, maybe I can tap into that one. Let me turn on the power. Okay, so nothing there. Interesting.
Right, when they are very strong, there's a lot of energy and
sorry about that.
Deep tropical moisture, and it just felt so soupy across.
Okay, so I have to find something. not being used. That does not have continuous power. Does not. So I guess I'll be back with which ones I'm going to use. Okay, so here, this is important. The way these adapters work. The outside part. So here's the wire. This side would be considered the outside. This part here is the one that needs to connect to the power with your fuses. So when the fuse is in and you're testing either side, it's going to have power because the fuse is connected. So what you need to do is go to your spot. Right now I still have the power off on the car. If I tap the right side, I have power. When I tap the left side, I have no power. Power, no power. So this fuse has to go in this way. It cannot go in this way. So I've already put my 30 amp fuse in, and this is also important. The fuse that comes with the vehicle that's going to power what's already in the car, in the truck, is going to be the one that's on the top closest to the prongs. This one is already in the slot that it was supposed to be in. So all I did was remove the 30, put it in the slot here, and I'm just going to punch it in. Okay, and if this is incorrectly, I should have power on this wire when I test it. Okay, so this is continuous power, so this will be where my parking mode camera is going to be. So at this time, I still haven't decided where I'm going to put the accessory mode one, because as of now, I can only see ports that are 3-prong fuses, which I don't have. So I'm going to test those, and then I'll get back and see what's going on. I'm trying to find out from my phone while I'm fumbling around what. I went ahead and printed these out. So this is these are the inside fuses. I can't fit them all on one page, so I have 1 through 12 here. It tells what they're for. Here's fuses number 13 through 27, and here's 28 through. Okay. So I was able to find number 35. Not used. Number 30 says not used. Okay, and when I look at my friend's information he provided me, it says 35 and 30 are not used ignition. So those are perfect for the running of the camera while you're driving, since that's accessory mode. So what I did was, right now I have the ignition off. So I tested number 30. There's no power. Okay, and you can see that everything's working because I have power in here. So when I turned on the accessory mode, number 30 still has no power. So not used meaning, is it just blank and no power gets to it? I'm not really sure. So I found number 35. I took it out, I put the other fuse in there. They're both 5 amps, so it's okay to have them both the same. You just can't have the one for your camera be higher in amperage than the one that's there. It's not used anyway, so it should be okay. So right now the accessory mode is on, and I have power. So when I turn the car off, I have no power. So 35 should be a good slot. I'm gonna test it. Again, the one at the very bottom right that says 5, a triple prong, that's the one that another person used. This part right here, it was a little bit hard to get in because this is in the way. So I just slowly and very gently bent this part of the wire here. Everything stayed intact, and I just needed to bend it enough to get this snapped in. So everything looks like it's seated well. So I'm gonna do a dry fit with the connectors and see how it works. So I hooked up the ground back here. I have my 30 and 35. Again, 35 is accessory only, 30 is continuous. Turn on the vehicle, just in accessory mode, and I get my menu. So let's see, I didn't want to touch much of the screen right now. I apologize, I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time. But anyway, I'll get the camera set up. That's a different video. I'm just focusing on the connection right now. So let me get this done and I'll be back. Okay, so I got all the settings done that I want on the camera, at least for now. So it is advisable to put this in an area that you're not going to be constantly wanting to watch it when you drive. So this looks like a good place. This orange button on the side, that's an emergency record. So if you want to record something and lock it, that will hold it. So that's in a good location, so it's close by. So here you can see on the top left the inside camera, and this can be pivoted around. So this looks like a good place to mount it. Once it's done, I can take this wire and try to go around the headliner and down the A-pin. So this is pretty much my perspective where I'm driving. So I look over here, it's going to be pretty much out of the way, but I always know I can reach my hand back here and get this orange button to record. Actually it will record anyway, it's just that locks the data so they can't be erased if you need to go back and make sure that it doesn't get overwritten. So as of now, it's pretty much there, out of my way, out of my view. I don't know how it's how the cabin camera is going to look. I really don't care about the camera cabin. Once I get it hooked up, wired, fished in, and adjusted, I can go back and look at the app. I already installed the Vantrue app. Make sure that I have what I need on it and the positions and the angles. I can go back and do the settings, but for now I'm going to take this wire, run it all up along here. You can use any device that you use. A lot of us car people will automatically have those tools that we need, but it comes with this. So I'll just use this. If it doesn't work right, I'll just go find my other tools that I use for that. I'm going to pitch this wire up along here, run it along here, down the A-pillar, around, and to the fuse box. Okay, so you take this part of the A-pillar, you can reach your fingers. I use the tool, reach in and just slowly pull, and these little tabs will come out. There's your airbag. So just be careful. It's okay to take this, but just be careful with that. And then we can take this wire and run it through. This whole thing comes off. So I'm going to take that, run it through, and then come through the bottom. Okay, so now the wire is run all the way through here, down the A-pillar. I got the pillar back on. Ran it around here. You can see a tiny little piece right here. I'll just tuck that in. Down the weather strip, this just pulls back and then pushes back on. And then there will be a tiny piece right here when I'm done. This will close, so I'm sure no one's going to mind if that's there, especially me since it's my truck. So let me get everything. I'm going to take all this, bundle it up, tuck it neatly back inside, and then I'm ready to go. Okay, so the rest of this video is just going to focus on, this was the next day, and the rest of the video is just going to focus on two things. One is just the install when it's finished, and you can see here how I pan around, and this is pretty much my view at work, so that's why I want to monitor the cars that are passing by or anybody backs into the car. So you can see it's a pretty clean install. And then the rest of the video will focus on two things. One is just a quick video of the vehicle in motion. You see here now, just to clarify, I was not watching this, I was just holding my camera as I was driving, and I had no idea what the camera was recording, so I did get some stuff. And the rest of this video is just going to focus on some photos of the rear. I went back a couple days later and installed the rear camera, And I don't have video on it, but there's a picture of where the final install is. It's behind the seat of the car, of the truck, and that's with the seat back up. And then that's just a top view from above the seat. You can see it's tucked behind the seat. And then that's what I see from when I look around, so you can see that the camera's not visible at all. And that's what the unit looks like with the wires. I also ran the wires around the top through the center and then around the passenger side, taking off the weather strip and tucking it under the hood. That's the pillar right before the back. You see the seat, and that's the rear window defogger. You can see the wires just a little bit over that, not visible at all, and that's again from behind. So the rear camera literally took me about 20 minutes to install. One thing I did want to emphasize one more time is that when you're installing your fuse holders, you are going to use a fuse spot number 28 and fuse spot number 35. And I may have misspoke during the video, but it is 35 and 28. If you wanted to use, again, I forget the number, the bottom right, with the 3-prong fuse, you can use that one also. But I didn't have that, so I used the 28 and 35. So those are the two that you would use for the Ranger Raptor.